one thing Christy and I have come across this weekend, and being outside of a touristy area July 4th weekend is, well, you can imagine it brings
very busy.
All the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the COVID has in no way, shape, or form
stopped it.
Stopped it. What's happening? I'm Will.
I'm Christy.
And this is Pumbaa Dog.
After years of overlanding across the United States, we decided to hang up normalcy and move full-time into Imogene, our 21-foot travel trailer.
Our goal is to set up base camp in different regions of the U.S. and explore the areas around us. We invite you to join us as we share our adventures of full-time living. What's happening? And welcome back to another episode of Full-Time Living. In last week's episode, we showed you some of the upgrades we made to Imogene, fixed another leak, and then made our first big move from South Carolina to Tennessee to an awesome campground outside of Gatlinburg. Our plan is to stay here until October-November timeframe, where we'll then go back to South Carolina for the holiday. We spent a lot of our time here exploring all around the Smoky Mountains, which is one of our favorite areas in the country. But I think what's happened is a lot of people have realized that, they just need to get outside.
And do stuff, yeah. Get away from the electronics.
The RV industry is banging right now.
Mm-hmm.
We could sell Imogene and build a tiny house on wheels. What do you think?
Then where would we live?
In the tiny house on wheels. Same thing that we're doing in Imogene.
I know, but while you're building, where are we going to live?
Oh, we got the Gazelle tent, right? And we got Forerunner, and we got Austin.
No. Negative.
No?
Now that we've been here for almost a month, I don't know that I can stay here through to October, which was our original plan, was to be here through October, but now we've been here a month, we've done a little bit of exploring, now I'm ready to go somewhere else.
That much exploring we've done. This much.
But the thing is
this much. We've kind of already been in this area.
Well, the thing is, I've been coming up to this whole eastern side of Tennessee since I was a little girl. So
I have not.
Right, you have not. I've experienced all of this.
I've been exploring it since, 2015 or so is when I really got into exploring, just doing this. And then, yeah. I love this area. However, I'm ready to go out west.
I'm kind of scared to go out west.
We are both a bit concerned, not scared.
I'm scared.
We're both a bit concerned to go out west. She might be scared. I'm a bit concerned. What are you scared of?
Well, the only thing I'm scared of is that we're going to get all the way out there and then potentially where we're staying gets closed and we have nowhere to go and then we got to haul back home all the way from wherever.
And when you say home, what exactly? We have home. We live in our home.
I know, but I feel like homestead and family support and help and everything is Columbia.
Well, it's just the East Coast, right?
Yeah, East Coast.
We've got a larger support system on the southeastern portion. Now, for a backstory, to get Christy to leave has taken 17 years.
The other part of ready to find another campsite, even if it's in this area, is the service is awful.
I think what we have learned immediately is that sometimes in pretty places there might not be service. Well, we haven't decided how much time we want to spend in a certain area. We were thinking probably 4 to 6 months, but now
I'm kind of
get the itch to go
maybe two, and then off to the next one. But then again, I don't think I would be in such a hurry to find another spot if I had the internet source that I need.
Yes.
It's barely enough for me to do what I need to do every day. And sometimes it's still spotty and goes in and out, and there's periods of time where I don't have service at all while I'm working,
So where should we go to next?
I don't know.
That is the ultimate question.
Yeah.
And it's perplexing because we really don't, we're really just figuring it all out. The channel is not to discuss anything negative, so we won't talk about it. But one thing I will say is the COVID deal is it is affecting our decision of where we're going to go. But, oh,
dear.
Nice. Let's make sure there's not another one. See, that's the benefit of having a squeaky ass truck, which this thing does squeak, y'all. Listen to this thing squeaking. I was telling Christy that the parks differ from the national forest. National forest, you pretty much do whatever you want to do in there. National parks, though, they may have a closing time, but typically it's posted, and I didn't see anything posted here, so we should be good. But we're gonna go try this little hiking trail out for size and see what we got. So we just passed this group of dudes, and I asked them how long this took them, and they said they'd been out here since 1, but it was 100% worth it.
You said they only stayed down there for 30 minutes and turned around and came back?
Yeah. So we'll just walk as much as we can tonight and then come back another time. I think that's the same bench from the Flintstones. So I guess whenever you get up to the top, there's a beautiful waterfall.
But we'll only make it to the halfway point today?
To the halfway point, hopefully today.
Started way too late.
Yeah. It's only 4.4 miles, but that's a good bit. The good news is we can come back.
Yeah.
Because we're here for a little while until we figure out where we want to go to next time. We're doing a little cheating today. They said at the halfway point you can see the waterfall, so. But we got to be close.
I hope.
You hope?
It's hot.
You done walking?
Well, it's just humid.
Oh. Did I mention we're in a temperate rainforest? I told Christy I know what that is. That's that shit that took away the cat on Homeward Bound. Now, are those called cascades rather than waterfalls? Leave a comment down below. I think those are cascades. What the hell do we do here?
I don't know.
You make the decision. It's on you, boss.
Me? How do we do it?
Well, we have reached the halfway point, and I believe that I answered my own question. Cascades.
What bridges were they talking about?
I don't know.
I think it's just a little bit further up.
How much further up?
I don't know.
I'm good on the further up.
You done?
I think that we're just going to have to save that for another adventure.
I mean, it did take us about 45 minutes to get up here, so probably another hour to get to the falls. It'd be dark the whole way back. We only got one headlamp.
And I'm the only reason we got that one. You was just going to travel in the dark. You can't see no way.
I can use my phone flash.
Pretty dark already. So, we're going to save the full trail for another day. Since we were so close, I decided to take the opportunity to explore Kentucky via the Kentucky Adventure Tour. The Kentucky Adventure Tour is roughly 900 miles and consists of old Forest Service roads, jeep trails, reclaimed coal mining areas, and different things of this nature. This was a fantastic way to explore Kentucky. It offered far more than I had bargained for and is a really great series to watch. If you haven't already, make sure that you go check that out. I'll leave a link down in the description below to the various different episodes. It is a multi-part series, and I go through a lot of different trials and tribulations, so I highly recommend you checking it out.
Now that he's done playing in the mud and tearing up his truck, it's time to get back to work on imaging. Our next upgrade is a full off-grid electrical setup.
Our off-grid electrical setup for imaging will consist of two 325-watt Panasonic solar panels, 3 100 amp-hour lithium-ion battle-born batteries, one Victron Multiplus 3000-watt inverter converter charger / the brains of the operation, as well as a Victron MPPT solar charger. First order of business, figuring out how to mount the solar panels to the top of Imogene. For this, I headed over to my buddy Kurt's house where he had all the proper tools to make some custom brackets out of some angle aluminum. So the first part of making this bracket is we've got to measure out 1 inches because I'm going to do 12 1-inch little brackets to connect to the solar panel. Then I'm going to do 12 3-inch brackets to connect to the roof of the RV. We've got to measure those out in the proper spacing, but then I'm also marking the drill holes for the bottom brackets to the RV and the drill holes for the top brackets to the solar panel. I'm going to drill out and mark the other holes with, it's going to be a little bit harder, but I'm going to have to drill those out later once I figure out the spacing that's going to be proper for the drop, so to make up for the slope. So after we get done drilling, then we're going to go in and do the cutting. By the way, it's not got to be precise. It just needs to be relatively consistent, really. Nobody's going to see this, and even when they do see it, I don't think that they're going to come out with a tape measure and start, inspecting our work or anything. But this is going to do it here. I do wish that I did that I had figured out the drop, because that would be really nice to go ahead and drill it out proper. I'm glad no one's taking a close look at this, because this looks like Dr. Seuss drilled this line of holes here. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take 8 of the 1-inch brackets, and you see, so these are going to be cut. So these are connecting to the actual solar panel itself. So we're going to take 8 of these. There's 12 in total. I'm going to take 8 of these, and I'm going to drill basically half of this, basically right in the middle. That's going to give me a 1-inch rise. Then the other 4, I'm going to have to find out where they lay after I set the solar panel up there, and then I'll drill them out accordingly. So in an effort to remain extremely consistent, I'm actually going to use this little piece here that I found. It works out. He's already got holes drilled in it, but it works out that that's right in the middle. So that way it'll be consistent on all 8 of them. All right, so now I have 8 holes drilled. This is going to be one side of the bracket where it goes to the actual panel itself, and this is going to be where it bolts into the bottom brackets. Now on the other end, since I'm doing a high and a low point at a consistent length from the bracket itself, I'm going to go ahead and do that in the center point of 8 of the bottom brackets as well. All right, that's it. So I've got the inch brackets done, 8 of them, and then I've got the bottom brackets, the 3-inch brackets, I got those done, 8 of them. And I've got the holes all drilled at a relatively consistent height. Now, let's take it over to the cutting wheel. Now, without a doubt, this right here, you gotta have some eye protection, no bullshit. These shavings are gonna go all over the place. These little pieces could fly all over the place. So definitely wear these right here. One thing I can say, this stuff gets metal all over you. I hadn't been this glittery since I left the strip club. What happened is, I put that like that, and then I'm gonna put a bolt through. It's kind of hard to do this with the camera. A bolt through like that with a washer. I got a washer. And then on the back side, I'm gonna have a nut and washer, or well, it's gonna go flat washer, lock washer, nut. That's it. That's how they'll mount. This also makes them to where if I want to adjust them, then I can prop rod them up. So that'd be nice. It also makes them to where I can access the panel, take the panel completely apart, if I need to and replace it if something were to happen without taking the bottom bracket. Because see, this part's going to be into the top of the trailer and butylled up and everything. This won't be accessible anymore. Only that part will be. While we're here, look at Kurt's van build. Dude, this thing is absolutely legit. He has done absolutely all of this himself.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just all of this, every single bracket, made the drawers. I mean, this thing is absolutely legit. Every single piece. This is kind of what we're doing on the trailer here. So he's gonna help me out with that. But look at this fridge. This is fridge number 2.
Freezer.
Freezer.
The fridge is up there.
Yeah, man. That is crazy. Dude, this thing is, look at over here. Just look. Look at this. I mean, we're gonna do a full badass builds whenever he gets it done.
Yeah,
but
this
it's not
will be
done.
black walnut countertop. This is a template. This will be black walnut. This will have a waterfall come down.
Look at this sink. Look at that.
Copper.
Copper beat out sink. That's dope. Hammered, whatever you want to call it. And then each and every one of these, oh man, I'm telling you,
The mark.
it's legit. It's absolutely legit. Like I said, we'll do a badass builds. If I've already got the badass builds, I'll put a link down in the description. If not, just subscribe, do all the notification stuff. You'll see it when it comes out. Today is solar install day, sort of. So there's a whole lot to this system. We're gonna end up doing it in phases. But today is by far probably the most nerve-wracking day, because today is the day that I drill holes into the roof of Imogene, our home on wheels. So here's the panels. All right, that's the back side of them. Front side of them, huh? Pretty solar panels. Yep. I've got to figure out where it all goes together in the middle and how it's gonna all go together, but that's what we're doing today. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first is I gotta get them up there. I'm probably gonna need Chrissy's help for this, but basically we're just gonna sit them up on top of on the tailgate here. Chrissy's gonna hand them up to me while I'm up there. This ought to be fun. Let's take a look. So, moment of truth, this was supposed to be done a long time ago. It is now August, and I had planned on having this done in March or April. But there's been a couple things that have held me back. One is laziness, 2 is getting all the parts and pieces together. But the number one thing that's been holding me back from putting the panels up on the roof is, well, it rains every single day, it seems like, here in eastern Tennessee. And as you can see now, we are facing yet another storm. The problem is we're about to go traveling. I need to use the bed of the truck, and well, the time is now. It's got to get done. We need to get this done. We're about to be traveling to another spot, and here soon we're going to be needing to use our solar system, so it needs to be working and all hooked up. So what better time than now to go ahead and get it done. I read on the website for the Dicore product that I'm going to be using to seal up all the holes that it's going to take about 4 hours in order to cure and harden up and be waterproof. So I'm hoping that the storms hold off for 4 hours. Let's cross our fingers. Easy. Got it? Easy. Easy. Hold on.
Got it?
Got it?
Yeah.
Bring your ass up here.
Need help?
Yeah, hit the stop button on our eyeballs over there.
Again?
Yep. Alright, so change of plans. So what I'm finding is that whenever I put this extra bracket here in the middle, it actually puts up both of these sides. So that's something that I didn't take into account. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and secure the 2 end brackets on both panels, on both sides. And I'm going to test and see how rigid it is. I believe that it's going to be plenty rigid enough with just those 2 brackets on each side, but we're going to see. You definitely want some sort of space up underneath them, that way that they can breathe, that way they don't overheat. Oddly enough, solar panels, though they use the sun to generate energy, the hotter they are, the less productive they are. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if you understand electronics, then you know, the heat is bad for electronics. So weird, I know, but that's the way that it is. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hook up these two brackets, and the way that I'm going to hook up these two brackets is I've got some Dicore. I'm going to go ahead and Dicore around and underneath the bracket, set it down into the Dicore, then drill in, and then put these lag screws in there. Let me show you what these lag screws look like. So these are the lag screws. They're about 1 inch, and the roof of the RV, according to the manufacturer, is right at around 5/8 of an inch, I think is what they said. My thought process on this is I'm going to put a washer, and then between the washer and the thickness of this bracket here, we should be good to go, and that should be plenty enough to grab a good strong hold onto the roof here and not go through the roof. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Well, there we are. The most nerve-wracking thing of the whole entire deal is completed. So yeah, the panels are mounted. I'm going to cover those wires up until we go to use them. But yeah, turned out pretty good. That little spot right there is from an 𝗬𝗵𝐿𝐼𝐵. The drill fell over, and whenever it did, it punctured this little rubber roof that we got. So, whoopsie, happens. But yeah, man, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Pretty happy. Meanwhile, Christy's been finishing up the stain on our couch build here that we got going on, and I must say it looks 20 times better with the stain on it than it did just raw wood. That's going to be awesome. Today is moving day. Moving day number 2. And, well, it's safe to say that I'm truly going to miss this awesome campsite. But at the same time, we're ready to explore more, see what else is out there, see what lies ahead. That's going to do it for this episode of Full Time Living. Be sure to join us next week as we complete our off-grid setup and move into the new spot. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. If you like this video, make sure that you hit that like button. If you want to follow our adventures, hit the subscribe button. Be sure to ring the bell for notifications. And until next time, peace.